I'll show you how it's done. Shazam!
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to On the Develop here, and today we have another movie review for you guys to Wicked, already Wicked Part 1. This is the famous this is the movie adaptation of the very famous play that's been on Broadway for fucking decades, and also based off a book, Wicked,
which came out a couple of years before the play did.
Yeah, and that also is based off of The Wizard of Oz.
Yes, which is
an old story and an iconic movie.
Yeah, it's a series of books from the 1800s which inspired the comic movie.
Yeah. Wizard of Oz is an original text, right?
Yes,
okay, yeah.
It's the original text. It's one of many. It's a series, so it ran on for quite a while.
What are the names?
I don't fucking remember the names of the other ones.
The Wizard of Oz?
No, Wizard of Oz is one of them. But I know they all have. I know one's called Return to Oz, and they all have Oz in the title in some way.
Why didn't do sequels?
They did one in the 80s, but that was it. They did an adaptation of Return to Oz in the 80s.
And in the Michael Jackson one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, The Wiz. Yeah. That's so weird. You have Michael Jackson there in a musical version as the Scarecrow, all tied up. I'm like, he's known for dancing. Let the man dance.
You know this. He's on down the road.
Part 1.
So Wicked, if you're familiar with the play, is pretty much that's the story, essentially.
Well, at least, like, the first half of it.
The first half, yeah. It's basically the first half of Wicked.
Yeah.
Just split it into two.
Admittedly, we have not seen the play, so we have to make guesses as to how much of this was added in.
Because it feels like it's not, because it's a little dark, and then, like, Ariana Grande Glinda is really portrayed as an insufferable narcissist. So I'm like, you know what I mean? But this whole movie's about, like, perception and how people, like, and how things seem the way it seemed, like good and evil. But it's a lot more complicated than that, and not everything you see is as it seems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
it's actually like almost like it comes off as like a new interpretation of how things are.
Yeah, which I do know that is what the original the musical did. The original
then that probably is very well.
Yeah. Like because that's a big thing about this is like because the Wicked Witch's entire motivation comes based around how she's been treated all her life because she has green skin, so she's been constantly othered and treated like she was disgusting for just existing, and everyone treats her badly, and that leads her to feeling very empathetic for others who are struggling. Like one angle that I thought was very interesting in this movie was the racial segregation and oppression that the talking animals face in this world, which I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, this movie went really like political here. Very thematic, very like a lot of racial undertones.
Oh, it really did. Honestly, even without the animal stuff, there is a ton of racial undertones.
Absolutely.
Like, just imagine Cynthia Erivo is her actual natural color. Imagine every other character is white, and that's still a very relatable story for a lot of people.
You're weird. You're evil. Ew, get away from me. Everyone fucking like shunned her essentially.
Yeah,
just because she's existing. Just because she exists.
Yeah. Everyone treated her like shit just for existing. Yeah, it is so fucked up. Like the only people who didn't treat her like bad off rip is like Michelle Yeoh and Jeff Goldblum didn't treat her that badly off rip. But of course, they wanted to manipulate her.
Exactly.
The Dr. Goat, he was pretty nice to her, so she had that going on. But of course, he got arrested and taken away. So. And Glinda eventually did become more friendly towards her, but even then, they only got so far. Glinda made like small changes to be a slightly less awful person in this movie, but not all the way through, which is good writing, because if she immediately became an actual good person, then that'd be super rushed and forced. Yep. Less like how we talked about Gladiator 2.
Yep, that's how. Yep. So that is good for that. And for what she was given, I thought Ariana did a great job as a performance. Yeah. But as a character, she was just insufferable. I mean, just imagine watching the worst person in the world, the most self-absorbed narcissist, and no one's pulling on her shit and letting her do it. I just want to curse her out. Yeah. Constantly, like, shut the fuck up.
She's a pretty rich white woman. She can get away with anything. Yeah, that's right? The world we live in. Yeah, kind of didn't realize so. That's why I just said that's the world we live in.
Yeah, so, you know. But talented, voice was gorgeous. When she first came in the screen, she was like a fucking... She was like an angel. It felt otherworldly, you know what I mean? Like,
it did.
Amazing voice and and the visual was
she's came in
beautiful.
I think she came in on a bubble.
Yeah, like a pink bubble.
Yeah. I thought the performances throughout this movie were just consistently really solid.
I agree.
Like, I don't think there's a bad one in the bunch. Like, I love the two leads, Cynthia and I thought Ariana was very good as Glinda. Again, Glinda is an insufferable bitch, but she's supposed to be that way. So Ariana Grande did a great job breaking that out. Cynthia Erivo did a fantastic job as the Wicked Witch. But if anything, I think Michelle Yeoh is probably one of the weaker performances, mostly because that little bit where she had to sing, it wasn't that good, but... Hey, she didn't have to sing much, so it's fine. And Jeff Goldblum, as you said, excellent casting as the wizard.
He's Jeff Goldblum, and it's great.
Yeah,
Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, basically, he's the perfect guy to play this con man from the 1800s.
Yeah, the shifty, double speaking.
Yeah,
in a hilarious way.
Yeah, the fucking snake oil salesman. Yeah.
Like, he just gives us. We always give a con artist vibe. He's like a grifter. Like, there's a shifty little con artist. You know?
Yeah, because that's
a charming con artist.
Because that's exactly what he is.
Yeah, that's exactly exactly the vibe he gives off, and he's so good at embodying that. He's good at playing frauds.
He totally is. Yeah, what's his face from Thor? Blanking his name.
The Grandmaster.
Yes, the Grandmaster.
Also, yeah, he had a role in the last season of
was that Search Party?
Search Party.
Okay.
Yeah, funny because I actually watched it. You don't even remember the name.
I know. I just took a guess at the shows I know you watched.
The Search Party. Yeah, he played a role in the last season of Search Party, with pretty much like a billionaire that was acting like he was trying to do something, but he really didn't believe in it at all. He was just bullshitting. You know. So yeah. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good at playing those kind of douchebag roles.
Oh, he totally is. He totally is.
Also, he just did it recently with the Chaos show. He plays Zeus. Zeus is a fraud, huge fraud.
Yeah, I heard about that. I also heard it got immediately canceled by Netflix because fuck Netflix, I guess.
I mean, it got greenlit for season 2. And I think it's rescinded it. Because at the end of the show, it said it was coming back for season 2.
Yeah.
And I guess it just said fuck it. They said no, never mind.
Yeah.
Fuck you. No way.
Which is kind of a dick move, but whatever.
I actually was excited about season 2 because it ended up being a huge fucking cliffhanger. So fuck you.
I was going to watch that show until I heard the news they got canceled. I'm like, oh, well, now there's no point.
It would just piss you. There's no point. It would just piss you off. Yeah. But anyways, So this movie was good. It was good overall, man. I didn't expect the movie to go this deep. I mean, it begins with adultery first off, because Elphaba's mother was having an affair with some fucking salesman, you know, and she was drinking this green liquid, which then caused her child to come out green, and then her thought she was the father, the governor, who's the husband, shunned her, and her sister's a fucking bitch, even though she's on a wheelchair.
Yeah,
because she just cares about her own happiness. And throws her under the bus when she gets outed, instead of sticking up for her sister, because she's selfish.
Yes.
I mean?
Everyone in this movie is pretty selfish.
Everyone in this movie is pretty much a dirtbag. Only one that's kind of not a dirtbag is Jonathan Bailey and of course, Elphaba.
Yes.
What are the only two people?
They're the two people who are the least bad by far.
So that's like one of the irks. This movie could irk you if you really immerse yourself in the movies and watching these horrible people. It really annoys you. It really got under my skin watching these terrible selfish people. It was like, oh, fuck these guys. Oh, it's disgusting. The worst of humanity.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. That's the really only drawback, but that's more of a personal thing. The movie did its job very well.
Yes, it did. This is a good. It tells a very solid story. It sets up. I'm not even sure it needs to see part 2 because I think it sets up well for the first movie already. But
it does, but then it's a huge gap because it's like she ended on a good note where she was on the right side of things, and then she becomes a bad guy. So it's like, to me, what the fuck happened there?
Yeah, we need to know for sure. Like, is this? I'm sure part 2 is going to make that clear whether or not this is a perspective thing or whether she actually becomes full on villainous.
Yeah, because I mean, it really did end on a note where it feels final. You know what I mean? It really did feel final.
Yeah.
Like, if it didn't say to be continued, I would assume it's done, you know?
I would have too, honestly.
And it would have been fitting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, which, honestly, is good. It's good that the part 1 is able to stand on its own as a movie.
Yeah, it does. You know, so I assume part 2 is probably going to be a time gap, I assume.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, it's sort of the narrative.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but the way it ended, it feels so like there's going to be a new status quo. So if it's for them to continue right where they left off, it's going to kind of diminish the first one a little bit. So it should be a certain level of time to let all the events of the first one sit
Yeah.
and take effect. I'm not saying a huge time yet, but I'm thinking at least maybe even like a year, year or two.
Yeah.
Like Miles Morales, that's different. That should be right after.
Oh yeah, that's way too that's way too urgent not to.
Yeah. With the way it ended, it felt like a final. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It felt like a end of one era and opening up a new era. Yeah, but it all build up to something very beautiful, which is her accepting herself, not accepting the limitations, not being judged by what other people want you to be. Because the whole thing is that once like Ariana Grande and character Glinda and Elphaba becomes friends. First was friends under bullshit pretenses out of pity. Because she felt bad because she gave
more guilt than pity, I think.
Guilt makes her pity, but guilt. Guilt, which I don't like. She should have told the truth. You know what
she should have,
yeah. And then, because then it would seem more genuine. It seemed like you're trying to make yourself feel better. Which she does, because she's a very self-centered person.
Yes.
Like she thinks the world revolves around her.
Yeah, and Elphaba, she's had no friends her whole life, so she has no metric for what a good friend is like.
Exactly. So she's happy. She does such good things for her. Like get her. Like to see the fucking wizard. You know what I mean? Get her into the sorcery class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's like who you vouch for doing all these amazing things, and you're definitely not returning the favor. What you try to do, you try to change her into something that she thinks society will accept her as. You know what I mean? To make her popular, and I'm like, oh, that's actually a very disgusting message.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad character realized that I'm not going to be something I want, and then her potential love interest shared the same beliefs, which I thought was pretty cool too. So.
Yeah, it was, and I thought it was very great that she was willing to stand up for that. She had this moment where she realized everything she thought was a lie, and she's standing up to the fucking authorities now.
Yep. So now she's a fugitive. So I'll look.
Yeah.
And
she's
pariah.
She's a fugitive. She's a pariah. Like she has her name mocked on the street. Everyone's fucking talking shit about her just because she wants to actually support the minorities, not treat them like a fucking scapegoat and just blame them for everything.
And this kind of sounds like what's happening in real life.
Oh yeah. It's almost like there's a reason this is being made in 2024 and all that. Yeah. It's a very relevant message.
Very, very relevant message. Very, very, very.
Yes. We should all become wicked witches. That is the message.
That's my take.
Yeah. As of right now, I'm going to be dyeing my skin green and practicing magic.
Yeah. But yeah, it's movie solid. I guess movie like an 88.
Yeah, same. I was thinking like high 80s too, because like the only big downside for me is I thought the songs were kind of hit and miss with me. Some were kind of catchy, some of them was like kind of whatever.
It was a little too much. It was like every dialogue, but I get it. They're trying to make it. It's trying to make it because it's a musical world, so everything's really communicated through dialogue.
Yeah,
because they even singing music and dialogue.
They are, yes.
You know what I mean? On top of songs, it just kind of felt less bombarded. But I mean, I kind of got used to. I kind of got numb to that shit.
Yeah. Well, even then, my argument was more that I thought the quality of songs was kind of inconsistent.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like I've seen better musicals. Like I felt.
Like I thought
Singing in the Rain was a much better musical. Even though that kind of overdid a little bit too, but still solid.
I really like the songs of The Color Purple. I think that's a really solid one.
That was a really that was black people, man. They soul, you know. Like they sing from the chest, you know what I mean? The Southern folk, you know. But yeah, that was an example of a solid musical that had good music and it didn't feel bogged too like jumbled and bogged down or whatever else. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Anyways, if this movie interests you at all, then I'd suggest go seeing it.
Watch it. It's definitely worth a watch for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like even if you're not sure about whether or not I want to see a musical, I want to see them based on the Wizard of Oz. We were feeling the same way. We were really not super hyped about this movie. We mostly just watched it for the channel, but we both left very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it's better than Gladiator too.
Way better.
Yeah. So yeah, that's out of those two movies. Out of Glicked, definitely do the Icked.
Yes.
Not the Glick.
No. No. If you only have the time to see one because both these are long movies, Wicked. Yes, that's the choice. Anyways, be sure to hit that like, subscribe button, y'all. We see you next time for some more content.